and welcome to INA UK and Europe edition. I'm Man Glauser reporting from Geneva, Switzerland. We bring a news report from the United Kingdom and Europe. Today's news roundup. UK delays full post-Brexit import checks until 2023. French police take action against illegal vendors at Eiffel Tower. In the UK, Jubilee celebrations to involve a 10,000 people procession in London's iconic streets, reported by Ariane Celestino. Then with us from our EBC Germany Bureau, we have Jessica Kalau. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Mian.
Thank you, Jessica. So what will you be reporting for us today?
Today I will be reporting about Germany's multi-billion euro relief package.
Thank you. So now let's go to Spain, where we're going to discover the Seafood Expo Global in Barcelona, reported by Beverly Madrid. Now in a sports segment, British boxer Tyson Fury retires undefeated, reported by Ryan Florentino. Still in sports, Man City let Real Madrid off the hook in 7-goal Champions League Classic. And then, quadruple chasing Liverpool hitting all the right notes, both reported by Kid Dimabuyu. And last but not least, we have our view from our window, which is the Marktplatz or Market Square in Mainz, Germany. In the UK's remaining post-Brexit border controls have been postponed again, blaming rising energy costs and the war in Ukraine. Certification and physical checks on food and animal goods from the European Union were initially due to be introduced on January 1 this year. The controls were then put back to July 2022 due to supply chain disruption caused by coronavirus pandemic and increased immigration red tape. Full customs declarations and controls were introduced on January 1 as planned. But the Cabinet Office said the remaining measures will no longer be introduced this year and would instead come into force at the end of 2023. The government said the postponement would save UK importers at least £1 billion or $1.25 billion in annual costs. The reintroduction of border controls on both sides of the channel has seen hauliers facing more paperwork, causing frustrating delays and increasing costs. Industry bodies had warned the government that the planned new checks in July would drive up the price of food as consumers battled soaring inflation. Subjecting a host of everyday products in supermarkets to physical checks and certification would disrupt supply chains and leave empty shelves, they added. The UK in a Changing Europe think tank this week said trade barriers created by Brexit has already seen food prices rise by 6%. As Paris once again sees an increasing flow of tourists, the police carried out a large-scale operation at the foot of the Eiffel Tower to control the increasing number of offenders and scammers. According to Isabelle Tomatis, Director of Local Security in the Paris area, this delinquency is not massive, but it is visible. It affects the peace and quiet of the public who come to visit and of local residents. It attacks the rules of fair competition for shopkeepers who pay their rent and who are regularly installed, and above all, it affects the image of the capital and the 7th arrondissement and of France in general. She added that in the first 3 months alone of 2022, the figures are already moving towards the those of 2019. She emphasized the deteriorating effect on the image of the city due to the constant presence of street vendors, gamblers, and pickpocketers. Street vending is a punishable offense with a 6-month imprisonment and a €3,750 fine. Plus, there's the possibility to take people into custody. Similar operations are intended to be repeated several times a week in the future at many of the sought-after sites of the city, such as the Eiffel Tower, the Trocadero, the Louvre, and department stores. Time for a break. Please come back for more ENI UK and Europe edition. Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Anne Gauser. Interesting stories around Europe this week. London will mark the Queen Elizabeth II's 70-year reign with a 4-day public celebration. To tell us more, we're joined by Ariane Celestino. Hi, Ariane.
British pop superstar Ed Sheeran will headline the finale of 4 days of public celebrations for the upcoming big celebrations marking Queen Elizabeth II's record-breaking 17-year reign. The multi-award-winning singer-songwriter has been booked to deliver the climax of the so-called People's Pageant outside the 96-year-old monarch's Buckingham Palace home on Sunday, June 5. Sheeran, who performed at the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations for her 60th year on the throne in 2012, said he was proud to be part of the festivities in her platinum year. His musical tribute at the Queen Victoria Memorial outside the palace will top off a set-piece parade along a 3-kilometer route through central London. More than 10,000 people will be involved, including over 6,000 performers and volunteers, in a televised event that organizers hope will be watched by up to 1 billion people worldwide. Let's listen in.
It's a huge procession along some of London's most iconic streets around Buckingham Palace, and it will be a joyous event. It's an event that we haven't seen in our history before. 70 years. We celebrate 70 years of the Queen on her throne, and this has never happened in our history. So the scale is monumental. 10,000 people on the streets. That is an extraordinary number, come what may. But each of the elements have been created as well. So we have huge puppets. We have huge mobile structures. It is awesome in its scale. It's just mind-blowing.
Evans said his aim was to bring together the communities that have made up modern Britain during the Queen's reign, to tell the story of her life and how the country has changed. Her Diamond Jubilee in 2012 saw a 1,000-boat river pageant along the Thames in central London, which began on February 6. Reporting from the United Kingdom, I am Ariane Celestino. We'll live in interesting times.
Thank you, Ariane, for that update from London. Now let's go to Germany, where energy prices have soared. So in order to appease the population, the government is implementing a multi-billion relief package. To give us the details, Jessica Kalau is with us today from Germany. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Mian. Energy prices are at an all-time high, costing over €2 per liter in Germany. In light of this, the German government has decided to offer a relief package to its people. It aims to provide financial aid during these unprecedented times. The UK Cabinet arranged several measures that came into effect on April 27, 2022. One of the measures taken is to reduce the energy taxes on fuel for 3 months, starting June 1st. Gasoline prices will decrease by 29.55 cents and diesel prices by 14.4 cents per liter. Aside from this, numerous one-time payments will be made for social welfare recipients, parents, and workers. This will serve as a compensation for the inflated energy price. Social welfare recipients will be given a single payout of 200 euros, 100 euros will be added to the child allowance, and a single payout of 300 euros will be added to the salary of German workers. To further ease the situation, the state will also offer a public transport ticket at the price of 9 euros per month. It is planned that this will be valid from June to August, allowing ticket holders to use the bus and the train all over Germany. Moreover, people who already have a ticket subscription are eligible for reimbursement for these 3 months. Back to you, Mayan.
Okay, so Jessica, can you tell us what the concerns are, if any, regarding this relief package?
Yes, so the implementation of this relief package will cost the country billions of euros. And it's important to take note that there already has been another relief package before this one. That was to aid the financial situation caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. So the second relief package will furthermore add billions of euros to the national debt. And despite the efforts of the country, numerous politicians claim this relief package to be too complicated and insufficient. For instance, pensioners do not benefit much from this, even though they are particularly reliant on the financial help of the government. Furthermore, there are concerns regarding the 9 euro ticket. With such a ticket, experts are concerned that the public transport might be overloaded during those 3 months. Back to you, Mayan.
Thank you, Jessica, for bringing us the latest from Germany, and please stay safe.
Thank you, Mayan. I'm Jessica Kallo, reporting from Frankfurt, Germany. We live in interesting times.
Now let's go to Spain. Seafood professionals gathered at the world's largest seafood trade fair. Beverly Madrid takes us there.
After rescheduling various times for 2 years due to the pandemic, the Seafood Expo Global was finally held in Barcelona from 26 to 28 of April and has been a great opportunity for seafood professionals to meet again in person. Seafood Expo Global, or Seafood Processing Global, is the world's largest seafood trade fair. After 27 years in Brussels, the fair moved its next edition to the Fira de Barcelona Gran Via venue, where more than 2,000 exhibiting companies from 89 countries met. According to the organizers, they chose Barcelona for the long-term growth opportunities that the city could offer as an international destination, and Fira de Barcelona Gran Via as a modern and innovative venue. The seafood exhibit's aim was to promote and sell seafood processing equipment and services to leading buyers around the world. Reporting from Barcelona, Spain, I'm Beverly Madrid. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Beverly, for bringing us this story. Now, time for a break. Please come back for more ENI UK and Europe edition. Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Mant Glauser. More interesting stories from around the UK and Europe this week. In our sports segment, in boxing, British boxer Tyson Fury retires undefeated. Ryan Florentino has the story.
British boxer Tyson Fury confirmed his retirement from boxing following his victory over Dillian Whyte at Wembley Stadium. In an interview with Talk TV's Piers Morgan, the 33-year-old stated he's done with boxing. After his latest win, the undefeated heavyweight said during the in-ring interview that this might be the final curtain. Fury then added, telling Morgan that he needs to think about his future and family. Boxing is a dangerous sport, Fury said. You can be taken out with one punch, as we saw on Saturday night, and it only takes one unlucky blow and you might not get up off that canvas. I'm undefeated and the only second man in history to retire undefeated heavyweight champion. I'm very happy and contented in my heart with what I've done. The British star also expressed interest in returning to WWE, calling out Drew McIntyre as a potential opponent for SummerSlam or a later event in Cardiff, Wales this September. If true to his word, Fury will retire 32-0-1 with 21 victories by TKO. The WBC champion said he wanted to go out with a knockoff performance and on top of his game, even if that means missing out on a potential unification fight down the road. Reporting from the United Kingdom, I'm Ryan Florentino, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you for the update in boxing, Ryan. Now, to bring us the latest in football, here's Kit Dimabuyu.
From one English-Spanish tie to another, Pep Guardiola said he had to reiterate to his players that they had beaten Real Madrid 4-3 in a Champions League Classic on Tuesday, despite the disappointment of not killing off their semi-final tie at the Etihad. Kevin De Bruyne, Gabriel Jesus, and Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva were on target for Guardiola's men, who held a 2-goal lead 3 times, but Karim Benzema's F2 goal double and a brilliant effort from Vinicius Jr. gave Real Madrid hope of another famous Champions League fight back at the Santiago Bernabeu on May 4. Madrid, the 13th-time European champions, were playing in their 30th semi-final to City's 3rd, but the English champions lived up to their tag as a pre-tie favourite early on. City continued to create chances at an alarming rate for Carlo Ancelotti, but it took something special when they did finally get a fourth. Benzema was the coolest man in the stadium as he chipped the spot kick down the middle to leave the tie on a knife edge, headed back to the Spanish capital. Reporting for Sport for ENI from the UK, I'm Keith Dimabuyu, and we live in interesting times.
Liverpool achieved a win over Villarreal. Kit Dimabuyu tells us more.
As Liverpool fans all around Anfield celebrated their Champions League semi-final first-leg victory over Villarreal, it was fitting that they chose a Beatles song to serenade the mastermind of their bid for football immortality. Liverpool won 2-0 against a Villarreal team nicknamed the Yellow Submarine since the 1960s, when the Spanish club's fans used the Beatles song in tribute to their yellow shirts. It took 53 minutes to break down Villarreal's stubborn rearguard action when Jordan Henderson's cross deflected off Pervis Estupiñán and looped into the net. 2 minutes later, Sadio Mane doubled Liverpool's lead to put them in pole position to reach the Champions League final for a 3rd time in 5 seasons. Yet the Reds have more than a 7th European Cup triumph and 2nd of Klopp's reign in their sights. They are chasing an unprecedented quadruple. They sit 1 point behind Premier League leaders Man City with 5 games left and face Chelsea in the FA Cup final in May. Needing a slip from Manchester City to take the title, Liverpool don't have their destiny in their own hands, but they are playing well enough to keep dreaming. Klopp's team are hitting all the right notes, but the only question now is whether they feel fine with their trophy haul at the end of the season. Reporting for Sport for ENI from the UK, I'm Keith Dimabuyu, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you for the latest football news, Kit. Now, for our view from our window today, we take you to the market square of Mainz, Germany. At the junction of the Rhine and Main rivers lies the city of Mainz, the capital of the Rhineland-Palatinate region. A great way to explore the history of this town is to stroll around the Marktplatz, or the square, where the restored old town and its cobblestone street are located. It is surrounded by traditional shops and places to eat, and different architectural wonders. Mainz is also a great place for book lovers, since it is the home to the inventor of the letterpress, Johannes Gutenberg, who fundamentally changed the way books were made in the 15th century, which makes the Gutenberg Museum also a well-visited place in Mainz. Today's view is courtesy of Nanette Catalan. Thank you for this view, Nanette. That's it for today's program. Stay safe and keep positive as we bring you more stories next week from the United Kingdom and Europe. I'm Anne Glauser from Geneva, Switzerland. We live in interesting times. Thank you and à bientôt.